Wow. 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 Yeah, man, they setting it off over there, bro. They setting it off over there, man. And I don't want any more war, bro. I want people to live in peace. You know what I mean? We're all human beings at the end of the day. And I don't know how deep it goes, man, but I know it affects a lot of people that don't have anything to do with this war. A lot of people are being affected by this. And who knows what the chain of events is going to be? What's this going to set off? You know what I mean? Like what's going to happen in the next in the coming years because of a situation like this where the supreme leader of Iran, I've seen the guy around. I don't know too much about these things, but evidently it was Israel and the US that did this. Um but yeah, not entirely sure why, but yeah, man, I don't this is just not going to be good. It's already not good, but it's just not going to be good. It's not. Let me see. Hold on. But so as of right now, it hasn't all the way been confirmed, but it could be that it really is him. But who knows? You know what I mean? What's up, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? I'm looking at. I'm seeing. There's a protest happening right now. There's a black man that's protesting. But there's other people as well that are protesting as well. What's your message to the world? Well, my message to the world is I wish for eternal peace for the world. You dig what I'm saying? We didn't start any of these wars. Like a lot of the people, the citizens of these countries, right? The citizens of America, the citizens of Iran, citizens of Israel, like the regular everyday citizen doesn't have anything to do with whatever these people behind the scenes have going on, right? And I think for the most part, people just want, their basic needs met. I think there's far too much resources. There's far too much love in this world for the world to be the way that it is right now, to be completely honest with you. To be completely honest with you. Because I think there's a lot of innocent people, bro, that lives are going to be affected. And before everyone came in, that's kind of what I was talking about. Like a lot of people that don't have anything to do with this stuff, their lives are going to be affected by this. There's a lot going on in a very short period of time. There's a lot going on. And it's almost as if this uh administration, it's almost as if they want to see how much chaos they could cause. That's what it looks like. That's what it seems like. I don't even know if there's like a method to the madness. Um, it's like 1 minute, is Venezuela, the next minute is Iran, the next minute is Greenland, the next minute it's what's going on? I'm sorry to hear that, Elijah. I'm sorry to hear that your dog passed away, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. But yeah, let me see. You may not have heard, but they have just announced that the Ayatollah has been pronounced dead. You might say they have a horrible stomach problem. You know, sometimes my stomach feels a little crazy as well. You know what I mean? I think everybody has stomach problems at some point throughout their life. Um, and I know it could be very difficult for you to focus. It's very difficult for you to eat. Very difficult for you to digest at times if you have problems with your stomach. But I do hope you get that situation sorted out, brother. Yeah, nah, for sure. Okay, well, there are now conflicting reports. There are conflicting reports about whether the Ayatollah is alive. And that, all right. How about this? How about this? How about this? The United States just bombed Iran trying to kill the Ayatollah. How about that? If a furry character is robbed, should we call the police or Paw Patrol? I don't know, man. Look, it depends. If you live in the digital world, then yeah, call Paw Patrol. If you live in the real world, you know what I mean, use your discretion. um, yeah, you know, yeah. Are you upset that Colored History Month is over? Okay. Homie, you've gained weight. I've actually lost weight. It's crazy. It's crazy to say that I actually lost a lot of weight. Like between last year and this year, last year and this year, I probably lost like 50, 60 pounds, bro. You know what I mean? Like last year, this time, and this year now. Because I really been at it. You know what I mean? Really been disciplined. You know what I mean? And yeah, I did it. And a lot of it was because of where I was working and what was going on in my life and how my lifestyle kind of changed. But yeah, you know what I mean? I had to get that situation sorted out. Mm, Somebody so big respects to, you know, Black History Month is you know what I mean? It's big respect to that month, but it's not for me, it's not just February. You know what I mean? February is a special month to me because my father was born in February. You know what I mean? It's Valentine's Day, Black History Month. But at the same time, it's like you can't just kind of just box everything into just one sort of month. You understand what I'm saying? Like Black History, you know what I mean, and everything that has happened with Black History to Black people and everything that Black people have done and overcome. It should be celebrated everywhere by everyone. Period. Point blank. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? Um, because it's human history. And one of the big reasons why it's highlighted is because of the way Black people have been perceived and the narrative surrounding us and a lot of the true history and the current history of what's been happening. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's human history, period, point blank. So, you know what I mean? I think it should be celebrated everywhere because a lot of, um, you know what I mean? It's celebrating equality. It's the way I see it. You know what I mean? I don't know how you see it, but that's how I see it. You dig? So that Alicia Keys is my favorite Black person. Big shout outs to Alicia Keys. She's actually half Jamaican too. So big shout outs to her for sure. You dig what I'm saying? If y'all don't know, I'm Jamaican myself. Ethiopian for sure, but you know what I mean? Somebody says she's fine as AF. Hey man. Big respect to her, big respect to her husband. You dig what I'm saying? She is beautiful. You know what I mean? But we're gonna respect the fact that she married as well. You dig what I'm saying? We're gonna respect that. And you know what I mean? They got a beautiful family together. You did? So greetings from Iran. Big up yourself. Big up to Iran, man. Big up to Iran. Big up to Iran. I ain't got no beef with Iran. I ain't got no beef with, I don't have no problem with anybody. Unless they have a problem with me. Unless they have a problem with Black people. You know what I mean? That I'm not going for. I'm not one of those turn the other cheek people. Like I don't like anybody that doesn't like me, but I love human beings. I love people that love one another. You know what I mean? I love people that want to get together and share and uplift. You understand what I'm saying? Those are the type of people that I like and I like to be around. I'm not gonna sit up here and fake it because I would be lying to myself if I told you that I liked certain type of people, and I don't want to lie to myself or lie to you. You know what I mean? And a lot of people kind of say things that go against how they really feel, but that's not me. That's not me. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all subscribing to this though. But let me see what's going on with this right here. And with that in mind, we want to bring greater content. Big shout outs to Craig's Tree, man. Said YouTube just you suggested this channel and he's in Iowa. Big up to Iowa, you did? I never been out west. My girl just came back from Vegas yesterday. I went to go meet her down at down in the city, pick her up. Dig what I'm saying? Brought her back home or whatever. You know what I mean? Just make sure she's protected or whatever you did. But the furthest west that I've been, and the road trip was to Chicago, man, and I had the time of my life. I gotta admit, I went by myself. I drove from New York to Chicago, and Chicago is a beautiful city, man. Chicago is a beautiful city. I was in Chicago, man, and the streets were clean. Like I didn't explore all of Chicago. Clean streets, beautiful buildings, the scenery, the culture, the people. I didn't see any, meanies out there when I was out there. I thought Chicago was lit, you know what I mean? And then it's like, for me, I like road trips. You know why I like road trips? Road trips are like this, right? When you go on a road trip, you never return the same person that you left as. Especially if you're present. Now, of course, if you're a passenger or whatever it is and you don't really care, it might be a different narrative. But if you are going on a road trip, let's see, boom, you got documentaries that you could listen to a documentary, you could listen to a podcast. You know what I mean? A whole series of things that you may have not been able to do had you been home. And then at the same time, you're also looking around and enjoying the scenery. All right, you're looking around, you're seeing at the time when I left too, it was fall, it was like almost 2 years ago. It was the fall season. And then you see the trees, they different colors. And it's like I left at the perfect time because when I left, and it wasn't that long, it was like a few days. But when I left it's like the plants were more green, you know what I mean? Then it kind of changed in the nighttime, but it wasn't quite fall yet. But on the way back, it was just beautiful. It was lovely. And then you drive back into New York City, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like you have the sense of you have accomplished something. And it almost hits the reset button like, man, I return a new person because of all the experience that I had now. Because I didn't just go to Chicago. I stopped off in Cleveland. I went to Akron because I had to see where LeBron and Steph were from. I thought about going to Detroit, but then I was like, nah, I didn't have enough time. I waited too long to go on that road trip, so I had to get back to work at the time. But I gotta say, man, that road trip was an absolutely phenomenal road trip. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. But thank you guys, man. Hopefully you guys stay. Hopefully you guys subscribe. You know what I mean? All of that. But yeah, man, this stuff that's going on in Iran, it don't got nothing to do with me. But at the same time, because I live in America, right? Because I live in this world, it is gonna have something. And it's amazing because it's like these few groups of people are the ones that are deciding what happens in everyone else's life. And I'm not one of those that go for that, especially when you got people that are PDF files, right? To put it mildly. And just the nastiest people behind the scenes, the absolute nastiest monsters behind the scenes. And a lot of these people, their vices, I'm so glad that we live in these times where we get to see who people actually are behind the scenes. So if you're coming out saying that you're one thing and you're completely, it will be exposed. And it's a blessing to live in that time because people ain't coming out. You can't come out here and fake to everybody. You dig what I'm saying? So you got these guys now, you got these dudes that are all up in the Epstein files, all up in the files. And they're telling you how to run your life. They're telling you that who's the criminal. They're telling you that these people right here need to go to jail. You're the one that needs to be in prison or worse for the things that you've done. You understand what I'm saying? So you kind of look at it, it's like, man, these few groups of men, you know what I mean, um, are deciding the fate of everyone, and a large portion of them, these few groups of men, are in the Epstein files. And also, a large portion of them are in this current administration or associated with this current administration. You got your Nutlicks, whatever his name is. No pause on that, because that's his name. What you call it? Uh, your Musks. Um, who's the other one? Of course, the big the orange one. Who else? But anyway, you know what I mean? Long story short, there's a lot of them that's caught that the names are in these files, having done some of the most heinous things to children. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know. For me, it doesn't sit well with me that people really elected these people to be put in a position and hold them on a pedestal. How can these people possibly tell you what's morally right in your life with the things that they do behind the scenes? And I'm so glad these things are being exposed. I'm so glad they're being exposed. You know what I mean? I'm so glad they're being exposed. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm not, me personally, I'm not bound down to nobody, especially people that are doing certain things to children. It's just not in me. You understand what I'm saying? It's just not in me to do that. But I understand a lot of people, I get it why a lot of people would be scared or fearful of all of that sort of stuff. But if you walk with the Most High Jah, nothing to be fearful of. There's nothing or no one to be afraid of. You understand what I'm saying? They all human beings, or I don't even, honestly, that statement right there, they might not even be human beings with some of the things that they've been doing to people. But for the rest of us, we're all human beings and we're all one. You understand what I'm saying? Whether or not, don't matter where you're from or what you look like on the outside, none of that. So we're all one. You understand what I'm saying? We're just one thing. We're just energy expressing itself in different ways. All of us. You know what I mean? But it's like you have a few groups of people, a few pockets of people that tell you, hey, you're not like those people, and try to isolate people, right? Because this is how, when they fragment everyone, this is how they're able to maintain and sustain power. They keep everyone bickering and fighting amongst each other and fighting for survival. You understand what I'm saying? So if you got people doing that stuff, fighting amongst each other and fighting for survival, then what's going to happen? They're not going to have time to really address who the real problem is and what the real problem is. And those are the people that are at the top that are doing these things. You dig what I'm saying? Those are people at the top that are making these sanctions and all types of bull crap that they're doing. You understand what I'm saying? Tariffs and all of that. Hiking up prices for special interests and all of that sort of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? For these things are, it's not fair for the common man, but at the same time, the common man has to take some responsibility for allowing it to get to this point. So at some point, the common man got to tighten up. At some point, you got to tighten up. You dig what I'm saying? At some point, you got to tighten up and see what's going on. I like what you got to say. Gonna subscribe and check out some of the content. Shout out to you too for recommending it. Thank you so much, man, Craig Tree. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I'm trying to lock back in and really bring this thing to the next level. You dig what I'm saying? But the message still gonna remain pure. Like, I'm not gonna. My whole thing is, you got a lot of people that want to dilute things and they want to say things because it's politically correct, or they want to say things because, you know, brands and people are gonna want to or not want to attach their name or their brand to this person or that brand because of the things that they say or do whatever it is. But for me personally, it's about me being true to myself. And I think everybody out there should be true to themselves as well. And being true to themselves is not something where it's like, I want to be true to myself so much that I want to hurt others. It's not my intention to ever hurt other people. You dig what I'm saying? But there's certain times, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. There's certain times when certain things that I'm gonna say, it's gonna rub people the wrong way. For me, it's the truth. And a lot of times it correlates, and I want to say a lot of times because sometimes it's mixed with feelings, but a lot of times it correlates with actually what it is that happened. Most of the time it's correlating or it's exactly what it is that happened. You understand what I'm saying? So maybe the delivery may not be perfect. Maybe some people are hearing it and they're like, yo, they don't like my tone. Or maybe they're hearing it like, yo, who's this guy? Who does he think he is? Maybe they have their own sort of perception about what it is that I'm saying. Right? But at the end of the day, it's like this. Can it go back down? Can you put this up next to the truth, and what would it look like? Does it look like the truth, or does it look like complete BS? A lot of times, especially when you see some of the propaganda campaigns and a lot of things that you see with a lot of these politicians that they do, and a lot of these big media companies, the propaganda machine is so real. The gaslighting is crazy because they'll tell you something that they know's a lie, and you know it's a lie. Everyone knows it's a lie, right? But they'll tell you this lie, and instead of you, because you know it's a lie, holding it as is that it is a lie, you decide that you're gonna take it on board. You decide that you're gonna take, because these people are because the media is giving it to you, because the propaganda machine is giving it to you. So you're soaking it up. So all of that knowledge that you already, it's like you're now distorting it, right? So it's like your water, right? If you could just picture your water, you understand what I'm saying? And they just keep dumping, I don't know, onions in the water, right? Eventually, the water's not gonna be water anymore. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna start to become something else, right? So now what's it gonna take for it to get back to water? I don't know the process. Maybe it's something that you gotta do, but it's like now you gotta filter out all of the acid and all of the stuff that you got out of the onion. I said acid, but you guys know the term. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, bro. I don't want to be one of those people. And I don't think we could really move forward as human beings being with everybody being those types of people. You have to have people that challenge things. You have to have people that challenge the status quo or challenge the way things are. Because if we don't have those people, then everybody would just be cattle. Everyone else besides these monsters would be cattle. You do the rest. You understand what I'm saying? Might say you're black, get some rights. Look, man, listen to what I'm saying. It's Jala for me. No matter what it is that anyone else feels and thinks about me, I have the same rights as everyone else. No one can convince me otherwise. As I said before, we're all one. No one could, it's not a person walking on this planet that could convince me otherwise. So I don't care about what you say or what your law say or what this say. No, 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 no. Jah first. The law of Jah first. The law of God first. Is it I said? And then everything else is after. So everything, all of this fabricated, this, that, and the third. So no one can tell me that I don't have rights. Even if I was in civil war, civil rights, I would have rights. Even if I existed back in those days when they didn't give rights to blacks in their system, I would have rights. Period, point blank. So, you know what I mean? It's just about what it is you're willing to tolerate. I don't have that much of a threshold. You understand what I'm saying? I'm very patient, very kind. You know what I mean? I treat others how I want to be treated, and I won't allow other people to infringe on that. I won't allow other people to pull me away from that. It's in my set. So yeah, man, we all got rights. I got rights, you got rights, regardless of what the system says, regardless of what these people say, those people say, we all got rights. You understand what I'm saying? We all are human beings. If you're a human being, you got rights. And I respect your rights. Personally, I respect your rights. So respect mine too. And if you don't respect mine, you don't respect yours. You understand what I'm saying? So if you don't respect my rights, you don't respect your rights. There's certain things I don't go for, man. Like I'll be cool and calm and shit like that. Like even yesterday, bro, like with somebody that was, you know what I mean? I was with my girl and somebody was like kind of like on her shoe or whatever. So I'm like, yo, bro, like get off the shoe, whatever it is. You start doing all the mouthing and stuff like that. The time when I reacted, the only time I'm reacting is when you make a threat. If you make a threat, you're gonna have to do it. You know what I mean? You're probably gonna have to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, but it all boils down to what it is that you're willing to tolerate. You understand what I'm saying? What you're willing to accept. And sometimes things are it, it may seem as if it's difficult to accept at the time, but if you're true to who you are, it won't be difficult at all. If you're true to who you are. That's the way how I see it. Did you hear Kobe Bryant? Yeah, I heard about that. R.I.P. to Kobe Bryant. I mean, that was what, probably 6 years now, bro. It's been a minute since that happened. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of the dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Not entirely sure if evil is in the heavenly realms, but I get it what it is that you're saying, because it really is a spiritual war. It is good versus wicked. It is good versus evil. And it's like people, you gotta decide what side that you're on. You understand what I'm saying? Like, as you see these people are PDF aisles, right? And yet at the same time, you're still giving them your support. You're still giving them your energy. You're still allowing them to tell you what it is that you need to do. Nah, man. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I ain't listening to nobody that's doing that stuff to children. You can't tell me nothing, because you're not even human if you're doing that sort of stuff to children. If you do, people that prey on the weak, I have no sympathy or empathy for you at all. People that are racist, I have no sympathy or empathy for you. You understand what I'm saying? People that understand that we're all one, people that understand that we're all human beings, people that lead with love, people like that. Those are the people that I rock with. So it doesn't matter who you got behind you or any of that sort of stuff. That none of that matters to me. If what you stand for is division and hatred, I can't stand with you. If what you stand for is division and hatred and trying to hurt people because you feel as if you have more rights than them, I can't stand next to you. I don't want anything to do with you. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like you in that case. I don't want to sit up here and cap the people. There's a lot of people that sit up here and cap. Oh, love them. No, 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 no. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. Understand that we're all one, though. Understand that. We're all one. So what you do to yourself, you do to others. And what you do to others, trust and believe you do it to yourself. You zimmy. So if you don't look at others and see the God in them, see the Jah in them, see the love in them, or look in yourself and see the love in you, if you don't see that stuff in them, you can't see it in yourself. If you don't see it in yourself, you can't see it in them. It has to be, you know what I mean? One doesn't exist without the other. He said he got the widest nose of all of them. You talking about, hey, man, I'm proud of my nose. I'm proud of everything hey, man. My woman look at me every day and tell me I'm handsome. I look at myself every day and I'm like, wow, that's God. When Jah made you, he really did something. I ain't tripping off of nothing. He can't tell me nothing about myself that's going to make me feel bad, sir. All of my features I'm in love with. You should be in love with yours, too. Because somebody say I got a wide nose, I'm supposed to take on their perspective. I don't, man. You wish you had this wide nose. You wish. But big shout outs to you, though. Somebody said, you said what? Khomeini is not dead. Maybe not. Maybe not. But I did allude to this is what the reports are saying. You dig what I'm saying? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? But at the end of the day, you know, this is what the news is reporting. Somebody said God this and God that. Somebody thinks he's better. God this, God that. Dude thinks he's better than us, better than use. He spelled us, USE, because he prays. Look, man, I sat here and spoke about oneness. What part of we're all one do you take, oh, he feels like he's better than us when he says we're all one? How does that make sense to you? How does one rationalize that? I'd love to hear how you would rationalize us. Me saying that we are all one, how does that equate to one feeling as if he's better than others because he prays? My prayer has nothing to do with this. How often and how I pray or what it is that I do has nothing to do with this. You understand what I'm saying? And my prayer isn't how people traditionally pray in the West. You understand what I'm saying? But one thing I do is I put Jah first. I put God first. You understand what I'm saying? So I see the God in myself, and I see the God in you. I see the Jah here, and I see the Jah there. You understand what I'm saying? And if you can't see the Jah in other people, you'll never be able to see it in yourself, brother. Rastafari. Zimmy. Somebody say John 20 verses 29. Thomas, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and have yet believed. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. And it says the internet is fried. There's a lot of stuff that goes on the internet, man. And there's a lot of propaganda that you be having on the internet too. And, you know, people could just get on the internet and say whatever, you know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? I try to just keep it as real as I possibly can. I try to be true to myself. And when I say try to be, it's not something where you have to try to be because it's what you are. But I try to keep it within that realm. As opposed to going off into saying things just because it's going to sound good or just because these people are going to align with it or whatever it is. You understand what I'm saying? That's just not what this platform is about. So, yeah, you know. So, yeah. Yeah, that's how that goes as far as all of that. But back to what we were saying about this stuff, man. Let me see what the BBC is reporting. Netanyahu, that dude's name, that dude, Netan. We're just gonna call him Net. Says growing signs Iran's supreme leader Khamenei is gone after U.S.-Israeli strikes. All right, boom. So Israeli Prime Minister says there are growing signs that Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei is gone, and I hope I'm saying his name right. Khamenei or Khamenei. Let me see what the story says. Let's see. Okay, so I see the before and after images. Like all of these things, bro. It's so many people's lives that are being affected by this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? And again, my whole thing is, bro, if y'all got issues with somebody, y'all go handle that between yourselves. There's so many other people that live in this country, people that live in that country. There's so many other people that got nothing to do with any of this stuff, whose lives are going to be affected by what, again, these few concentrated group of PDF files have to say about things. And that's the sad part about all of this. You dig what I'm saying? And not enough people are really standing up and, you know, coming into alignment with themselves and saying, you know, I'm willing to stand on this side no matter what the cost is, because I would rather stand on this side than live in a world where PDF files are causing havoc and causing war all over the world. There's something wrong with that picture. Haywood Jablom. I'm not. Hold on. I don't want to say your name. Okay, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But what's up anyway, man? Somebody with a trolley. That name is trolly as hell. I'm not saying that name at all. You goofy as hell for that, man. You goofy as hell for that. You know what I mean? You goofy as hell for that. Man, y'all coming in here with all this church stuff, man. Look, man. The body of the church, see me I say. The flesh is the temple. You see me? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, but what do y'all feel about this stuff, man? What do y'all think about this stuff, bro? I'm gonna be back later, man. I'm gonna be back later. We're gonna talk about something else later. I just kind of just wanted to get this stuff off my chest a little bit. Big shout outs to everybody that liked the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel as well. I'm gonna keep pushing, man. Keep this, you know what I mean? Keep this YouTube thing going, you know what I mean? And yeah, we're gonna stay down this time, you know what I mean? And just lock in. One love. He said it's not real, he is alive. Okay. Um, okay. I'm just saying what the news is saying. I'm not entirely sure if that happened or not. Yeah, man. Peace. Light, aka Art of Mind. Big up yourself, Art of Mind. Yo, this is one of our earliest supporters on this channel. So big up yourself, Art of Mind. Thank you so much for tapping in again, brother. One love to everybody. Peace. I wish everyone peace and prosperity, man. Don't let these people knock you out of your alignment. If you gotta do what you gotta do and protect your family, and protect yourself, protect your family. You know what I mean? You gotta do what you gotta do, but don't allow these people to pull you out of your alignment. You know what I mean? One love, love and energy. Rastafari.